When it comes to Apex news, you have news that comes from the press or maybe from the devs themselves. You have leaks that come from data miners or playtesters, and then you have some speculations. People that heard something from another guy and he heard it from another guy and so on. But very rarely do we have something like this, where there was a speculation and someone heard something, but then no one said anything because we weren't sure, but then we saw someone post this, so what do they know? So it was like a speculation confirmed by a leak, but that leak was a speculation as well. I don't know. It's really, really weird. Basically, for any of you familiar with the Apex Legends news scene, you'll probably have no problem accepting what you hear today by faith. For others of you, you may think that this is just a nothing burger. But today we're talking about a speculation that seems to be true as Apex looks to remove one of the biggest features that they've ever added in this game. But I'm also going to tell you why it's not really bad news. Don't forget, we're giving away $160 from this event. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's jump into it. So where do we even voice crack? Whoops. Where do we even start? Apex Legends, in season 9 had one of their biggest seasons of all time. I think it was probably the highest record of players probably on the game at once. Now, of course, Steam people were still coming over from Origin, so it's really hard to look at the Steam charts and confirm that. However, we know from the servers crashing for many days on end. I think the servers were down for like 5 days at the beginning of the launch of it or something. It was really crazy. But regardless, we know a lot of people came to play this game, and it's because they had not only Battle Royale, not only some changes to the maps, not only some new LTM modes that they were bringing that season, a new legend that could fly around in Valkyrie, but also a brand new mode that was permanent called Arenas. We know that this was Apex Legends' take and spin on the whole economy system and how exactly you could play a CSGO Valorant type of game in Apex Legends. And honestly, in theory, I still think this game mode could have worked phenomenally, however you pronounce that word. But unfortunately, Apex began to quickly neglect this brand new permanent game mode as they brought a new rank system and then proceeded to make hardly any changes at all. They did bring some new maps later, but unfortunately, those did not last very long, in the sense that Apex Arenas did not really adapt. They didn't make any big changes that made people want to play. They didn't really add a new bomb system or any type of an objective that was in the game that made people perform an action. So when you talk about repetitive, this game mode was unbelievably repetitive. And because it was neglected and Respawn didn't really put any money into it or promote any big tournaments with it or try to get, teams like TSM or NRG to play in massive tournaments with it to kind of promote it a little bit, they didn't do any of that, and therefore it just kind of died off. And I personally believe to this day, if it had a bomb system like a bomb A and B like Counter-Strike and Valorant, and you promoted some big events with big names in it, you probably could start an esports scene, and this game mode would have probably thrived. So many of you have probably heard the complaints about Arenas. You've heard how it's died off. You've heard how it's neglected. They've not made any changes to it, and we've always asked, what in the world are they doing with Arenas? Well, unfortunately, it looks like they're removing it. So the speculation, as an Apex Legends YouTuber, I've heard things throughout, the grapevine that I'm not allowed to always talk about. This doesn't happen for every subject. I don't know everything about everything, but I do know some things that just sometimes I'm not allowed to speak about. If I ever get on those topics from a video, I normally have to approach it from the perspective of not knowing, even though I may know something. And when it comes out, I'll say I knew it, I just wasn't allowed to say. Well, I've been hearing for quite some time that the reason Apex has actually been purposely neglecting Arenas is because they planned on getting rid of it. I've heard it from multiple people who said they know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, whatever, and I just wasn't sure if it's true, but I have heard it. But then Jalen, a 21-year-old female Apex player, posted this over on Twitter, got 1,500 likes, and you guys were tagging me in this like crazy, asking if it's true. Have I heard anything? Is this actually going to happen? And she said they're removing Arenas in season 16, LOL. A lot of people were saying cap. Because you guys were tagging me and asking me, is this true? All I will say is that I've heard from multiple sources that there will be a removal of Arenas, but I cannot confirm or deny that it is season 16. I cannot confirm or deny that there will be something taking its place. Unfortunately, those are still speculations, and a lot of that information has still been confidential. But I thought I would share somewhat of an inside scoop that was appropriate for this viral tweet that came out and had a lot of people freaking out about Arenas. And guys, I would just say it should be no surprise to you. I mean, if they were neglecting this for season after season after season and not making any changes or any update, you should have known that this was probably going to happen. Now, while I still believe Arenas had a chance if they would have made some proper updates, if they would have promoted it, if they would have done some tournaments, I still believe that to this day. You could have done some great in-game tournaments with a bracket style event. I do want to share though, the speculations we have heard doesn't seem to be bad news. Everybody in the comment section though seems to be asking for control mode to take its place, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because people want an objective to play, and this is the reason, in my opinion, Arenas has desperately failed. It needed some objective. It needed a bomb. It needed to capture the flag or something, and I really think the economy system was good. I just think there needs to be an objective. You can't just have people fight, and that be the only case of the game. They would have opened up arenas, had the best 16 pro organizations in the battle royale scene come and play these arenas tournament with bombs in the game, and you saw Imperial How go up against Sweet Dreams or something along those lines, and you had like a couple $100,000 on the line to promote this event, I promise you people would probably be playing arenas like there's no tomorrow. Regardless, I can't wait for more news to come out about this so that I could share it with you guys about what I've heard. I think it's funny because a lot of the information I heard was coming from like 3 or 4 different guys who all said, you know, don't say anything, this is kind of just, you know, between us or whatever. But then obviously someone always gets a hold of the information, someone always has loose lips, someone always speaks and says it on Twitter. I'm not sure exactly who Jalen is, but she's followed by a lot of people in the Apex Legends pro scene and the Apex Legends YouTube scene, so I'm sure she's probably spoke to someone, she's probably heard something through the grapevine. And I just want to remind you guys that because it is out now, I will just say yes, I've heard it too. It definitely seems to be true, but there is more to the story, and I just want to say I think it's good news. I just hope and pray whatever their next move is that they actually do it appropriately. It needs to have a better ranked system, it needs to have more tournaments that you can do. I would prefer to have tournaments in the game so you could literally sign up on the game for tournaments, not go to a third-party website, but actually play for stuff in the game, like Rocket League, like Fortnite, like League of Legends. There's nothing wrong with doing things that other games are already doing. Just because they're other games and competitors, who cares who's doing it? If it's a good feature, just bring it. And imagine the first game that brought a rank system. You think the other games were worried about bringing rank systems because the other game already did a rank system? No, people want to play the game competitively, so everything should have a rank system, or mostly everything. So if people want to get their sweat on and play for something that matters a little bit more than a rank, put tournaments in the game. If Apex could have 2 simultaneously growing esports, with one with a bracket scene and a team versus team experience, the other with a bracket scene and a battle royale experience, it would be absolutely amazing. I think the list of all the games that are out right now just kind of show that people really want a movement shooter. This is why Apex is honestly sticking around, in my opinion, because while those other games seem to have better servers and those other games seem to be more stable and those other games don't seem to have as many bugs or glitches, at least so it seems, none of those games has what Apex has, and that is the fact that it is a very good high ceiling movement experience while also being a shooter that is also high ceiling. Biggest complaint with Apex has always been that the foundation is absolutely amazing, it's just that the game is not polished. It's missing a lot of itty bitty things that would make it so much better. And many people wonder if this is the reason that many of the OG devs have left the game and moved on to other games, including people like Drew McCoy that left and started their own AAA studio like Gravity Well, because we also found another person left Apex not long ago. This is coming 18 hours ago. Corey saying, waited a little while to post this after the dust settled, but I have officially left Respawn. After 4 years of working on Apex, I'm incredibly proud of what the team has shipped, but it's time for something new. And guess where he went, guys? He went over to Gravity Well to join old friends. Notice why he said old friends, because a lot of the people that left Apex went over to Gravity Well, and it's time to make some awesome stuff. I'm happy for these guys. I cannot wait to see what their new game is. These are a lot of the people that worked on Apex and Titanfall, some even on the old OG Call of Duty, so I'm really excited to see what those guys put out. But regardless, you never really want to see these OG devs leave your game that they created on Apex and move over to other stuff. But regardless, it seems to be happening. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below, and how are you feeling about season 16 potentially removing arenas, and what would you like to see to take its place? What changes would you like to make to the game? What are some things that are missing in this game that you think they need to add? And I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for a chance to win $160, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, Gators.